Hey guys, welcome back to Tea for Two. Today's gonna be a little bit more chill. Well, not chill for us, but more not upbeat, I guess you could say.
Yeah, a little serious day.
Yeah.
I'm giving my testimony.
I was like, are you gonna say it or should I?
So if you don't like the sound of my voice, don't listen to this episode.
She told me I had to ask questions, so it wasn't just her talking the whole time.
Yeah, my voice is going to give out.
It'll be okay.
I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible. Within reason.
Okay.
And I do want to say this. I'm a pastor kid. I've grown up in the church.
Okay, kid.
Yeah, exactly. I've grown up in the church. So I've always kind of thought to myself, I've been a Christian. I didn't have trials, getting to the Christian point. But your testimony can still be worth something even after you're saved. Mm-hmm. It's not always the before. It's also the after part of getting saved. So that's a little PSA for everybody out there. So your story is important. Don't hide it just because you think that you've grown up in the church or whatever. Or even if you didn't grow up in the church.
Yeah, even if you if you think that it's, I'm just like everybody else. No, God uses you in different ways. So, okay. Talk about growing up as a PK kid.
Okay, honestly, my parents did a really good job at, not really defining me as that, because I literally did not know what that was till a couple weeks ago. Maybe a month ago, because somebody was like, oh, you're a PK kid? And I was like, what the crap are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? No? They're like, a pastor kid? I was like, oh, yeah, I am. I am a pastor kid. We moved churches a lot. So I wouldn't say I had a steady church family. Mm-hmm. So I had one when I was a baby, when I was kind of in elementary. And then we had this stage where we were trying to find a home church. So I went to several different churches trying them out. Mm-hmm. And then we found the church that we're at now, where my dad's the lead pastor and stuff. So that was hard. Mm-hmm. Because, especially my senior year, when I started going to a youth group with my boyfriend, and I kind of got to see how that is and how those bonds are, I was like, wow, I really missed out on that part, but I still kind of got the tail end of it, because when I started going senior year, I became really close with those people really quickly, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously not as close as they are with each other, growing up together and that kind of thing. But yeah, so I did lack which is kind of weird to say because I'm a pastor kid, like the mission trips and the summer camps and all that kind of thing.
I think it's because it was a smaller church.
Yeah, we do go to a smaller church.
And just not feeling like you had anybody to go with on those trips.
Yeah, because there was one other kid my age, and then my brother, and we just brought in a couple other teenagers. Mm-hmm. So we're still not even at the point really where they can go off and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that was necessarily hard on me. It was just kind of different.
Yeah.
You know?
You didn't know what you were missing out on.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good way to put it. So then, let's see. Growing up, I was always so innocent. Oh my gosh, so innocent. So then, when I kind of felt myself start to drift away from God, I didn't really know what to do. Because, I don't know. It was very confusing part. I was like, I feel like I'm not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. What am I doing? So then I just kind of got lost trying to find worth in boys, which is awful, by the way. Mm-hmm. That was the darkest part of my life. Mm-hmm. Terrible. I can't even, it was bad. Everyone always is like, junior high is always so terrible, blah, 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 but they're just dramatic, No, mine was so bad. Even looking back, I'm like, wow, that was something. And the thing that really turned me around was one night I was in full-blown panic attack mode freaking out. I don't even remember about what, but bawling my eyes out, couldn't breathe, shaking, whole 9 yards, And the first thing EJ said to me was, "Have you prayed about it?" And I was like,
he said, "Oh, yeah."
That was my wake-up call. I was like, no, I haven't. What am I doing? I'm just trying to fix everything on my own, and I can't.
Yeah.
I literally can't. So that was my wake-up call, trying to realign myself to God and what He wants for me, and not just me trying to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
Because I'm very independent. Try to fix everything on my own, and no, I don't need help. No, I don't need you. When I do need God.
And don't we all?
So that's kind of when I started my journey of reading my Bible more, praying more, becoming more involved in Bible studies, like trying to answer, even if I don't have a good answer, just trying to like talk and like get other people to talk as well, because that's so hard, I think. Then this is kind of where things got crazy for me personally, because I was still trying to do stuff on my own, which we talked a little bit about this in our volleyball episode, where I was so determined to play volleyball in college that I was just kind of ignoring everything around me and what God was telling me. Because I was praying about it, but was I listening? No. No. And so I went ahead and signed and committed and went. And that was another wake-up call. That's not just doing it, it's also listening and obeying. So that time in my life was very dark as well, because I was also 6 hours away from home, pretty much alone. I had a couple friends up there, but nothing really close enough to where I wanted to talk about that, So I was at a loss again, drained physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, most nights I was in my room watching TV because I was just so out of it. And I was like, this is not me. During high school, I went and did stuff, went to the sporting events, whole 9 yards. This is not me. So I actually prayed about it and actually listened. And he was like, God was like, I told you, you didn't need to go. It was taking control of your life, and you just didn't want to listen. And I was like, yeah, I see that now, looking back. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I see now.
What do I need to do now? What do I need to do moving forward? So once I kind of asked that question, I felt so much peace. And I say this all the time, like, people probably get tired of me saying it. I've never felt so much peace than when I gave that up to God and was like, what do I need to do? It's in your hands. I'm not in control anymore. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And it was such a weird joy that I found in it. I found new peace in life, new joy in life. Even doing those things that I was doing before, it was just like 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't my plan anymore. Which is crazy to think about. That's like, just that little change can change so much of your mental state and everything.
Yeah.
So then I listened, finally. It took me 4 years or whatever. I listened and I followed. He was like, you need to stop playing volleyball. It's your number one when God's supposed to be your number one. I was like, that totally makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, because you're not God. Come on, calm down. So I took a step back because I was doing the varsity and the JV team. So I took a step back and was just doing JV. And I knew very early on that I was going to quit completely. Retire. I didn't quit. I finished the season. Retire. But I didn't tell my coaches because I still wanted to finish the season. Which is also something that I prayed about. Was like, do I even finish? Which I have to at least finish this school year here. So, is it okay if I finish? If I keep going, finish the year? And I did, which I think was good for me. I needed a good closing to that chapter in my life. So yeah, I told my coaches probably 2 weeks before the season was over. It's like, by the way, I was honest with them up front about it, and they listened, and one of them was more accepting than the other. So once I said that out loud, probably for the first time, it was another huge weight off my shoulders. That I was like, okay, I know I'm in the right direction now. I'm on the right path. I've been turned back around. Thank you, Lord. Now what do I do? I got down there and started going to the BCM and didn't love it.
Yeah.
Because since I transferred at semester, all of my grade had already kind of made their friends. And they weren't, I don't want to be mean because they're all nice people, but they just didn't really want to bring in anybody new, is what it seemed like. So I didn't make a whole lot of friends within our BCM, which was also hard because then I didn't have a community. I had my boyfriend's friends, but I'm not going to talk to them about stuff. Are you crazy? So after some praying through that, I can't tell you how many times I cried in that parking lot because I did not want to go in. I was like, I just stand there awkwardly and follow my boyfriend around like a puppy dog. And that's not really who I am. Like, so it was hard for me to go in there and do that when I knew that I do want to make friends and, do like talking to people and that kind of thing. I just wasn't getting it back. So, after some praying and careful consideration and listening, this was probably my first decision that I've actually, listened to on the first go around. Keep going, keep trying, do the best that you can do, and that's good. I still got stuff out of the sermon that we did and the worship. That was all amazing. And free food.
Yeah.
That's good. And some of those, they're like, take extras home with you. I'm like, yes, please, give me some.
Take it all.
So I kept going. Didn't cry as much. There were just some nights I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I even here?
Yeah.
But I got through it. I got over it, pretty much. It was like, get over yourself. Go be with other Christians. Which was good for me, I think. And I met a friend, finally.
Finally.
And I invited her to go to the BCM with me. She went, and it got better at that point. But she wasn't always able to come because of, her job and, that kind of thing. So it wasn't stable.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this next semester goes. I'm sure I'll still go and push through. And maybe I'll make some new friends with other freshmen and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. And there's already not that many people in my class that go to the BCM. So that was already hard enough. And then them already having their friend groups was even harder. And then the people that I did make friends with, they all graduated. So, I mean, it was difficult. Especially since the first semester that I was there, I did not like the pastor. do you call him a pastor? A leader?
Yeah. Well,
the pastor person. The guy giving the sermon.
Yeah, I would call him. I would say pastor.
Okay. I did not like the pastor for many reasons, but I still went because I needed community, which I think is very, very important for college students.
It also says in the Bible, like, you need to be surrounded by other Christians that are pointing you to God, and you have to, like, put yourself out there.
Yeah. Which is very hard for me to do. I'm not a very outgoing person until you get to know me. So, I guess that's kind of the main thing God's been working on with me this past 2 years is getting outside of my comfort zone, actually trying to reach out to people, and that kind of thing. So, I've made friends. I don't want to seem like I'm a loner in the corner. I've made friends. I talk to people in there, but they're not like a friendship like that we have, you know. So that is definitely one of my goals for this next semester is making more friends within the BCM, even if they're younger than me or whatever.
You could also do a D group with some of the younger kids.
I was about
younger.
Yeah, I know, right?
2 years younger than me.
I was about to say that right now, I kind of feel like God's kind of pushing me in that direction with, like, just me trying to get out of my comfort zone, make more friends, and actually still do His work. Do His work. Is that the right way to say that?
Glorify Him.
Yes. Do His work. Like I'm... Okay, no. I want to do His work. Okay, anyways.
Besides the way. Moving on.
So, I don't know. Y'all, I don't know right now. I feel like that's what it's going in, but at our BCM, they have a leadership team. Does yours have this?
Ours is so big, yes. But I don't really go. We'll talk about that.
We have a leadership team for our BCM. They have to go through a semester course of how to become a leader. And then it might have changed since we've gotten a new pastor. But from my understanding, they have to be at every BCM, every mission trip thing, and all of these, at a certain amount of these outings that we do at the campus.
Is it because yours is so small?
I have no idea.
Because that seems like
a lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry if this can sound so, but I'm like, you don't have, when school is stressing you out, it's kind of hard to, like, put yourself in a happier mood to stop doing your schoolwork and then go out and hang out with people, because or at least for me, I'm sitting there thinking about everything I have to do, and I'm like, I could be doing this right now, I could be doing this right now.
Yeah.
And my mindset's just not in a good place.
No, yeah, me too. And especially for me, traveling to college instead of it being in my hometown, I don't want to go on those week-long spring break mission trips. I want to go home.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely, if those are still like the parameters, I'm definitely not being called to do that because that kind of sounds like I'm making the decision. I've prayed about it, okay, y'all? Me and God have had a little combo about it. Like, what even is this, you know? What is the purpose? Well, I get the purpose. But what is my purpose going to be if I do that, if I can't even do most of the stuff? You know? So I don't really know how the D group would go if I'm not in the leadership committee or whatever. So, it may just be me doing something with some girls not affiliated with the BCM.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine doing if they want to join me, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so what are some struggles that you kind of dealt with through your walk?
Definitely consistency. Because, I don't know, it's so hard for me to sit down and read my Bible, even though it only takes 15-20 minutes. It is so hard for me to be like, okay, stop what you're doing. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of had to make it fun for me. I see a lot of girls that, draw in their Bible
mm-hmm.
and make all this stuff. I don't do that for the looks, which I don't draw in my Bible. But I have, the transparent sticky notes that I can write on and make notes and that kind of thing. And make it colorful and fun and more interactive almost.
Yeah.
So that has definitely helped me become more consistent. But I definitely do need to be more disciplined within that area.
What's an instance that kind of stuck out to you, like whenever you're worshiping God or anything like that, that kind of just, you go back and you're like, that is the memory.
That is the memory. Let's see. I will say, like I said earlier, I didn't go on very many mission trips. So when I did go on one my senior year, we went to Nashville. And that was so hard.
Mm.
I think I cried a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But once I kind of got over myself and was like, you can do this on your own. You don't need a friend. You can make a new friend.
Mm.
And you can go on, So I had a lot of fun being with people that were outside of my comfort zone that I didn't really know very well. Got to know better. We went to a summer school thing that was like free to kids that were where their families were like in poverty. So these kids were bad, y'all. Let me be so for real. Let me be straight up.
Patience.
These kids were bad. When we were there for 3 or 4 days. There were 5 fights. These were like elementary kids too. So like patience was tested, and I was like, I don't even know what to do. I'm not getting in the fight to break it up. They normally didn't last long because they were scrawny little things, and normally either an older sibling or an older friend would jump in and kind of split them up. But we were told they're gonna fight. So you just back up, don't get in it. We don't want you getting hurt. Anyways, that's not the point of the story. I just thought that was crazy to me. So being there, showing those kids love like they don't normally get was awesome. I think some of them attached to us very quickly because we did show them a different kind of love. And we had kids ranging from kindergarten to 6th grade, 7th grade. So we had a good amount of kids, and there was 4 or 5 of the mission trip students there. And then they had a couple teachers there as well on their own. And so all of us together doing arts and crafts and playing games, and we taught them how to play Foursquare. I mean, just like a bunch of random stuff. It was a lot of fun, and I loved that. Actually feeling my purpose get fulfilled in a way that I hadn't normally felt it before. I think that was a very core memory for me. And another thing, I love music, all kinds of music. I connect to music so easily. And these past 3 or 4 years, maybe 3, I joined my church's worship band. That has been so much fun. I love getting up there and show worship and be an example for some of those younger kids that are in our church, because we do have a lot of older people. So I have found some importance in being up there so young, because the old people love it already. They're like, you're doing so good up there. I'm like, thanks, girl.
They hype you up.
Exactly. But then I think it's a good example to set for those new teenagers where they're trying to figure out life and they don't know what the crap they're doing. Not saying like I'm the best role model ever or whatever, but I think it is good to show young people worshiping God in a place that it's not normally seen. We probably have 2 or 3 families that are younger, on the younger side, but they're not in their early 20s like me. So think it's a little different. They've got more life experience versus what I've got.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another core memory for me.
What's your favorite worship song?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Come to the Altar.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a tattoo, but, okay. I want to get a tattoo on my arm right here that says, the Father's arms are open wide. Mm. So when I'm going for a hug, you can see it. But tattoos, the ink spreads so easily on words, and so I don't know. I haven't fully decided on that yet. But yeah, I love that song. It makes me cry every single time. I'm not even kidding. Every time. In the car, on stage, in Walmart. They don't play that in Walmart. But, wherever I am and I hear that song, it breaks me down.
Your mom's probably like, Saraya needs this Sunday. Let's play this
song. Stop. Maybe she is always the one that requests that song and sing it. She's always like, oh, come to the altar. She probably is thinking that. It's fine, though. I will also say, having parents and grandparents that praise the Lord like they do has been amazing for me. Oh my gosh.
Do we need this use?
No, it's okay. It's okay. My grandparents are great people, and I think it's good to have examples outside of your parents, so you're not just seeing it at home. I think personally, for example, my pawpaw is so amazing, and he's done so much for me out of God's love, not just because I'm his granddaughter. Given me so much, helped me so much throughout the years. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was gonna cry.
So I'm an empathy crier, so if you see me crying, I'm
sorry. I'm very thankful for him and what he's done for me. I think I've gotten a lot closer with him as I've gotten older. Just kind of because I appreciate that more, knowing what he's come from. Not a Christian family, growing up poor and broke and not going to church every day, and then seeing his transformation and his testimony is really inspiring. Yeah. So I've definitely become more observant of that kind of thing. And yeah, I love them. I love them all. I think I go to church with my other grandma, so I love seeing her when I'm up on the stage, seeing her in the crowd singing and swaying. So yeah, I just really appreciate that right now in my life. Just kind of taking a step back and seeing God's love in a place where I would normally see it, but really appreciate it more. Oh.
When we get... I don't even know if I have tissues over here.
That's okay. It's just my tears. It's not my nose.
Okay.
Oh.
We can't handle.
No. Okay. Anything else?
She acts like she didn't just cry.
Let me say, that was my first time giving my testimony out loud. So if that was so bad, I'm so sorry. I feel like I was so all over the place. Oh my gosh. Jesus does amazing things, though. Okay, y'all. So, pray for me. That if I actually do this D group thing, then I'll become better at this.
Is that it?
I don't know. Is it it? Do you have any what? Do you have any questions that you would like to know of? Oh, okay. Let me get onto this.
Okay.
It is. I said earlier that I was trying to find my purpose within boys. Girls, do not do this. Please. I beg you, please. I learned the hard way. And I wish I wouldn't have. Because I feel like in the back of my mind I knew better. But I didn't care at that moment in time. Mm-hmm. Once I started changing my mindset of my purpose and who I was hanging out with and why I was hanging out with them, my whole mental state changed. And some of those boys were not good for me. Absolutely not. I've been cheated on and verbally manipulated and controlled in ways that I should not have been. I should not have let it happen. Should have known better personally. So please don't let that happen to you if you are out there. It is better to stay true to yourself and stay strong to your Christian morals than to have worldly fun. Because it's really not fun in the end. It's not. So once I changed my mindset of that, I definitely found a relationship much better for me. And at the beginning of our relationship, me and EJ's, it was so hard. Because I was bringing so much baggage of, like, trust issues and my anxiety with this kind of stuff. So I feel so bad for him, honestly, that he was put through that. But he was a trooper, okay? And I can't really believe I'm saying this on the internet, but I'm very thankful for him and his patience. And I think his patience has shown me patience. I mean, his patience has given me more patience towards others. And just love. I didn't feel love like that before. I'm gonna cry again. Because he does have the Holy Spirit inside of him. It was a different kind of love. It was a deeper love. It was a more genuine love. So, girls, and guys, that is so important to find someone running to God that is beside you instead of you completely turning around to face away from God to find somebody. Run to God, look beside you, and see who's running with you instead of who's running away.
That's good.
I didn't cry. It's okay. I didn't cry. Okay, anything else? Do you have any questions about our relationship? I mean, I'm an open book today. Guys, I'm sorry. I feel like part of that was good.
It was.
Thank you. I tried.
It was perfect. In God's eyes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Guys, if you have any questions for us, leave them in the comments.
Oh my God.
And we'll answer them.
Not me. Not me.
Well, I think that's the end of this episode.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for listening to me, because Emily didn't say a single word.
I did. I didn't know what to say.
Ooh, okay.
You're about to listen to me talk the whole.
Yeah. So, next week, Emily will do her testimony.
Actually, in about 5.
For us, in about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But for you guys, next week. So, come back next Wednesday if you want to listen to her talk. Thanks for joining us. Have a great time. Pray. Read your Bible. Love Jesus. Live like Jesus. Love like Jesus.
Amen.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.